to the art lab. My name is Sam, and today we are going to be making tie-dye. Everyone's class should have gotten a few of these, class or group or whatever. It has all the things you need for 8 or 10 people to do tie-dye. So everybody gets a silver tray. Everybody gets a t-shirt. You can discuss sizes and stuff with your teacher. And then everyone also gets a Ziploc bag with care instructions attached to it. So this is what you're going to do after you're done dyeing your shirt, and you're going to bring it home to rinse. And yes, and then everyone gets a dropper. So these are droppers. You squeeze it to get the dye inside of it. And then there's a bag of elastics. You guys just use them as needed. Some people might use 3, some people might use 8. It's all gonna vary. Just take what you need out of these. And then the other things that we need that we're gonna be using as a group are, here is our tie-dye here. So there's 4 jars, 4 different colors, and the powder is already measured out and in there for you. All you have to do is take some hot water, or like warm hot, just put on the hot tap, and fill it just about here, just below the rim. All right, and then you can mix it up, put your droppers inside the cups, and we are ready to start dyeing. Okay, the other thing that we need to do is we need a bowl of warm to hot water. Any big bowl that you have that can fit your t-shirt in, that will do. So any kind of salad bowl or mixing bowl will work. Anything you have in your class or home, that will work good. And you're gonna dissolve the soda ash inside of it. So this stuff is called soda ash. It's like a baking soda kind of washing powder. Yeah, and that just breaks down the fabric that you're using so that the colors can soak right in really deep, and you will have really bright colors for your t-shirt. All right, so get this stuff out of your pack and we can get started on tie-dye. So before we begin the dyeing process, we are just going to be needing some elastics and our shirt. And I'm going to go ahead and show you 3 different ways you can fold your shirt to make a cool tie-dye design. So I'm going to show you is really easy. Pretty much you lay your shirt out flat. This method is called the Bullseye Method. Then you find a point in the middle. I'm kind of showing the top half of the shirt here, but you find a point in the middle, pinch it, and you just pull it up like this. So I'm just kind of lifting it up like this, and then you pull it down to kind of make a long snake shape like this. And then you get your elastics and you tie it around. I'm just gonna wrap it around 3 times. Sometimes people have a hard time with this part. Find someone who knows how to do it to help you out if you're struggling. But with a bit of practice, honestly, anyone can do this. You just wrap your elastic around. So now you have the choice if you want to make 3 spaces, 4 spaces, 5 spaces, 6 spaces, as many as you want. I think I'm gonna make 4 or 5. You just kind of tie it up so there's no loose ends. See how this is all floppy and stuff? You are going to want to add 1 at the bottom to keep everything together. And here is an example of what it will look like. And there you go. And then you would proceed to dye these different sections, different colors. But before we do that, I'm going to show you 2 more ways to dye this. So let's take our elastics off. And this is what the next one can look like. Next method is called stripe method. So this one's really easy. Essentially, you just fan it up, scrunch it up. You could roll it up. That would create an ombre kind of look if you rolled it up. But I'm just gonna kind of scrunch it like this. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then the same with the bullseye. I'm just gonna kind of tie it into sections like this. You just keep going all the way across. This one you usually need more elastics just because it's longer this way. tuck my little sleeve in here. And there you go. So this one is the stripe method. So once again, we'd be doing different colors in each section, but I will show you that in a little bit. All right, and then the last method, this one's a little bit more challenging, but it's also very cool. So let's try that one. This last method is called the spiral method. Lay out your shirt, and just like the bullseye one, you're gonna wanna find a section of the shirt. It can literally be anywhere. I like to do the middle, and you're just gonna pinch it like this and twist it around, almost like you're putting spaghetti on a fork, or like you're creating a cinnamon roll shape, like this. And then when you get it around and you have these kind of like floppy pieces, you just kind of form it around in a circle. Like I said, this one is tricky, so you might need a pal to help you finish this one. Maybe an extra set of hands would be nice. I have done this so many times now that I'm pretty pro. So I just put my elastic across like that. You can double it up. I would actually double it up. And you're gonna wanna make like pizza slices or like pie slices. Let's say pizza because this is Windsor and we know pizza. So I'm gonna go across the other way, and then I'm gonna put one more elastic on like this, just to keep everything in place. If it's kind of messy and it's not perfect, honestly, it's still gonna turn out cool. Watch, I will show you how that's gonna happen. Tie-dye is not meant to be perfect. You can literally fold this any way you want, and it will probably turn out cool. So there we go. If you need to adjust anything to keep it in more snug, there you go. That's how you make the bullseye. Okay, I got my bowl of water ready. Your bowl doesn't have to be this big. You could even use a bin, Tupperware, just so you have like at least like 10 cups of water, I would say. Maybe like a liter. And it needs to be hot water, okay? Not like burning your skin, but hot enough, you know? Okay, so I have my bowl of water here. The next thing I need is this little soda ash thing. Like I said, this breaks down the fabric a little bit. When you get a new shirt, it's kind of like soft and shiny, you know? So when you use this, it kind of takes that layer off that makes it so soft, just so that the dye can get through to the cotton and get into the fabric. Also, if you plan on doing anything with extra dye, make sure whatever you're dyeing is 100% cotton. All right, so all you gotta do, pop the lid off, dump it in, and use a spoon or something to mix it up. So my water's a little cloudy. Make sure you touch it before you just like stick your hands in there in case it's hot. All right. Now, one by one, we are going to take our shirt that's all tied up and doesn't have any loose ends, and we are going to put it in the water. The water's too hot, add a little bit of cool water, but you want to do this while the water is warm. This is going to really take your tie-dye to the next level. You don't want to skip this step. So just to make sure the water gets in all the cracks, you're going to want to squeeze it around a bit to make sure the shirt gets super wet, because sometimes you can stick it in the water and sometimes the water doesn't get all the way in, and then the dye doesn't go in as evenly. So make sure it's nice and soaked. You can even drop it in there for a little bit. Get your shirt perfectly wet, very wet, and then when your shirt's soaked, you squeeze it so much. The more water you squeeze out, the brighter the colors will end up on your shirt. So make sure you squeeze it really good. And if there is like a super strong person, they can help you squeeze out your shirt if you're not sure if it's enough. Okay, so as soon as you're done squeezing out your shirt, it's all done. We're ready to dye our shirt. We are gonna get our trusty tray and put it inside like that. All right, so go ahead, get everyone to tie their shirts, soak their shirts, and put it in their trays, and press play when you're ready for the next step. For our next step, what you need to do is you need to fill up your jars with warm to hot water. All right, I already told you about this step. If you haven't done it yet, go and do it, okay? And then I already mixed mine up here. Once everyone's shirts are wet, soaked, you can get rid of this. All right, once everybody's droppers are in here, make sure you wash and sanitize your hands. It may feel a little bit kind of like a slimy feeling from the soda ash in the water. Giving your hands a quick rinse, that will get rid of that right away. And now that we have our shirt, we can just enjoy ourselves, sit around and have fun coloring our shirts. So all you have to do is take your dropper, squeeze it, dip it in the dye, and it's gonna fill up like that. I'm choosing to leave mine in the spiral shape, but pretty much you want to really cover your shirt as much as you can, and you also want to get into the cracks. So see how I'm opening up a crack? Just opening it, filling it up. This is going to make your colors much more deep, so make sure you add a lot of dye. If you're doing this in a group of 8 to 10 or whatever, you just keep going till there's no dye left. My only suggestion is I wouldn't pile all the colors on top of each other. So I wouldn't put blue, I wouldn't put orange here and pink and green. It's gonna make a brown color and it's gonna look muddy, which if that's what you're going for, like a grunge muddy look, then cool, go for it. But I find if you wanna keep your colors bright and separate, to make sure you do it in the sections. So just like the other shirt where it was kind of long and there was like 1 section, 2 section, 3. So that is where you would do 1 blue, 1 green, 1 pink, and so on. And once you're done fully soaking one side, you're gonna take your shirt, you're gonna flip it over and do it to this side as well. All right, so go ahead. I'm gonna take my time, cover my whole shirt in tie-dye, and then we can show you what we're gonna do next. Go ahead, press pause, and enjoy dyeing your shirt. Okay, my shirt is fully covered in dye. It is very, very colorful. Now all we have to do is wait. So while I'm waiting, what I wanna do is I wanna take my bag and I'm gonna carefully put my shirt into this bag so we can let it soak for a little bit. And after we're done that, we can rinse out our tray and get ready for our next activity, all right? There we go, just put it in like that. And we are gonna let this soak until either the end of the day or the next morning. Just gonna close it up, seal it up. And now I'm gonna let this soak for a few hours anyways. Okay, so if you have leftover tie-dye, please save this. You can do this again. This tie-dye still works really good. Even if you don't have the soda ash, definitely save this. You can use this for all kinds of activities, for dyeing sand, for painting. Oh my gosh, so many activities to be done with this. You don't have to throw it out. Just put the lids on your jar and save them for something else. Once you are done waiting about like 6 to 8 hours, so if you did this in the morning, you could finish it later in the day. If not, just keep it in your bag until the next morning. But once you wait, all you have to do is run your t-shirt under cold water until it runs clear. So if you're doing this at your school or at your house, make sure when you're rinsing it, you don't get tie-dye everywhere or you wipe it up right away, because I'm sure the janitor wouldn't like it very much if there was tie-dye all over the bathroom. So make sure when you're going to dye your shirt, you keep your place nice and neat and you rinse it until the water runs clear. I'm gonna go do mine and come back and meet me here and let's open our shirts together. Okay, I have rinsed my shirt. The water is running clear. Let's open it up and see it. This is my favorite part. You can cut the elastics off if you want, or you can pull them off and reuse them. I like to pull them off and reuse them. All right, here we go. It's already opening up. Oh my goodness, so awesome. So this one is the swirl design. This was the last one I showed you. I wonder how your shirts are looking, but isn't mine incredible? Oh my gosh, this is so cool. Thank you so much for tie-dyeing with me, guys. All you have to do now is put this in your Ziploc bag and you can bring it home. Make sure you tell your parents the first time they wash it, it should be by itself, okay? Because you might stain your white clothes if you didn't rinse it good enough. All right, so all you gotta do now is you can actually leave it to dry hanging in your class if you want, but otherwise just throw it in a bag and bring it home and wear it. Thanks, guys. See you next time. Bye.